There was once a job where you slept in the same room as human waste all night, on purpose, because the smell was thought to keep you healthy. That was a real job. People were paid to do it, and it's not even close to the worst one on this list. For most of history, survival meant doing whatever paid, no matter how revolting. So here are some of the most disgusting jobs humans have ever been paid to do. And they get worse as we go. Let's start in ancient Rome. Someone had to clean the public toilets. Rows of open stone seats, no walls, dozens of people going at once. And next to them sat a shared sponge on a stick, used by everyone to wipe. Your job was to rinse that sponge, all day, for strangers. Now go down into the sewers under the city. The job of clearing them out meant wading through human waste in the dark, by hand, pulling out whatever was clogging the flow. People did this for a living. Many didn't live very long. But Rome was just getting started. In ancient Rome, urine was valuable. It was collected from public toilets in giant pots, left to ferment, and then used to wash and bleach clothing, which meant someone's job was to stomp on dirty laundry, barefoot, in a vat of aged human urine all day. They were called fullers, and the smell soaked into everything they owned. It gets worse. For centuries, tanners turned animal skin into leather. To do it, they soaked the hides in a mixture of animal dung and urine, then scraped off the rotting flesh and hair by hand. The stench was so unbearable that tanneries were pushed to the edge of every town, and the workers were often avoided completely. Then there's the job nobody wants to imagine. Before modern plumbing, human waste piled up in pits beneath homes and cities. Someone had to empty them. They worked at night, by candlelight, climbing into pits of raw sewage and hauling it out bucket by bucket. They were called gong farmers. One was recorded to have drowned in the very waste he was clearing. Some jobs didn't just smell bad, they slowly poisoned you. In the 1800s, people were paid to collect leeches for doctors. The cheapest method was simple. You waded into a swamp and used your own bare legs as bait, standing still while dozens of leeches latched on and drank your blood. Then you peeled them off, dropped them in a jar, and did it again. Many collectors grew weak and sick from constant blood loss, but waste and blood were only part of it. Some jobs put you face to face with the dead. During the plague years, someone had to collect the bodies. They pushed carts through empty streets, lifting the dead out of homes, stacking them, and carting them to mass graves. They were surrounded by the disease that was killing everyone around them. Many of them caught it. Many of them became the next body on the cart. And someone had to walk straight toward the sick. Plague doctors wore long beaked masks stuffed with herbs, believing it would filter out the disease. It didn't. They moved from house to house among the dying, touching the infected, breathing the same air, dressed like something out of a nightmare. The costume became the face of death itself. In some places, the dead had a more specific use. In the 1800s, demand for fresh corpses to study anatomy was so high that some people turned to grave robbing. They dug up freshly buried bodies in the dark and sold them to medical schools. A few went further and started creating fresh corpses on purpose to sell. The job created a market, and the market created murder. Now back to the living, and one of the strangest jobs ever recorded. In the Victorian era, before alarm clocks were common, people were paid to wake others up. They walked the streets before dawn with long sticks, tapping on bedroom windows until the sleeper woke. They were called knocker-uppers. And a fair question is, who woke them up? But not every grim job was about filth or death. Some were about danger so constant it was simply expected. In early match factories, workers handled white phosphorus with their bare hands. Over time, the chemical ate into their jawbones, a horrifying condition where the bone would glow in the dark and slowly rot away. They kept working anyway because the alternative was starving. And there were jobs where a single mistake was your last. Before electricity, lamplighters climbed to the top of tall posts every single evening to light the city's gas lamps, then climb back up at dawn to put them out. One slip, one gas leak, and that was the end. The city stayed lit because someone risked their life for it, twice a day, every day. Then there are the jobs that sound almost funny until you really picture them. In royal courts, there was a position called the groom of the stool. This person's job was to assist the king on the toilet and to physically clean him afterward. And here's the twist. It was considered one of the most prestigious jobs in the entire kingdom because it meant constant private access to the king. People competed for it, which tells you something strange about all of these. We look back at these jobs with disgust, the sponge, the urine, the corpses, the waste, and it's easy to feel like we've escaped all of it, that those days are behind us. But every one of these jobs existed because someone, somewhere, had no better option. They didn't choose horror. They chose eating that week. They chose keeping their family alive one more winter. The truth is, the disgusting jobs never really disappeared. They just moved out of sight. Someone still cleans the sewers. Someone still handles the waste, the bodies, the things the rest of us never want to think about. We just made sure we'd never have to watch them do it. And maybe that's the most disturbing part of all. Not that these jobs existed, but that they still do. We just looked away.